You guys, I am hooked on a feeling that Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best movies of the summer and maybe the best Marvel movie to date. So, if a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy can stick the landing, great third act by the way, then what other wacky superhero concepts could conceivably work up on the big screen? Actually, scratch that. The real question here should be, why has Marvel brought us Guardians of the Galaxy before so many other properties? Namely the ones with race and gender diversity. And that's precisely the topic of conversation today on the Dan Cave. What movie should Marvel have made before Guardians of the Galaxy? Number 5, the Thunderbolts. One of the best aspects of Guardians of the Galaxy was that it brought together a ragtag team of anti-heroes and coupled them with a distinctly Dirty Dozen sensibility to create an ultimately lovable, dynamic cast of characters. Well, what's more anti-heroic than a group of supervillains acting the hero? Literally nothing. I understand that Guardians ties together the cosmic elements of the MCU with what's happening on Earth, but what makes Thunderbolts ideal is that it builds up your villains in the eyes of the audience, ultimately making them more dynamic and effective when you want to use them down the line, something that Marvel's infamous 8-picture deals nearly ensure will happen. Number 4, Submariner. Alright guys, the real number 4 is Black Widow. Now, she's a known quantity in the Marvel Universe, an Avenger, a master assassin with a score to settle. And there's a freaking treatment out there already which Guardians co-writer Nicole Perlman penned back in 2010, 2011. As we learned in Avengers and a little bit more in Cap 2, she's trying to make up for past wrongs. So an assassin assassinating assassins? Come on, Marvel! That is practically a recipe to print money and a great way to introduce some serious fan favorites. Number 3, She-Hulk. What's so crazy about a green-skinned female superhero? Nothing if you ask me, but since it took Marvel damn near a dozen films to get Gamora up there, evidently it's a pretty kooky idea. Attorney by day, spandex-clad smasher of evil by night, She-Hulk combines the heartfelt human elements of Daredevil with the sometimes uncontrollable rage and superhuman strength of the Hulk. The difference? Her personality. The current Charles Soule comic could be used as a character bible should this movie ever get the green light. Get it? Green light? Number 2, Black Panther. Marvel, if you're afraid of launching a movie with a black male in the lead, let me ask you a few simple questions. Number 1, have you heard of Will Smith? Number 2, have you heard of Will Smith? And number 3, have you heard of the Fast and the Furious movies, a franchise with 2 black males in the core ensemble and a talking tree that can drive cars? And don't you dare forget about what a scene stealer Anthony Mackie was as the Falcon either. Black Panther is a seminal part of the Marvel Universe. Not only is T'Challa a leader of men, a kicker of asses, and a freaking genius, but introducing Wakanda and the world's vibranium supply, the stuff that Cap's shield is mostly made of, could make for a heady international trafficking caper that we definitely want to see. Number 1, Captain Marvel. Now, whether you go the Carol Danvers or Kamala Khan route, one simple fact remains. Captain Marvel is one of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe, and has a sense of humor to boot. And considering she got her powers after being caught in the explosion of a Kree device, transforming her into a human-Kree hybrid, you know she has her Marvel Cosmic Universe bona fides literally ingrained into her DNA. As a white male, it gives me great joy to see so many of me represented up there on the big screen. But what's been so special about the Marvel Universe is the diversity of experience and the vast swaths of heroes it has to offer. If a group of ragtag space knaves can bring in $94 million on an opening weekend in August, then there's no reason you shouldn't or should not already have taken a risk on all of these franchises. Now, what Marvel superheroes do you think deserve their own film? Do you think these would have been feasible before Guardians of the Galaxy? Are we Groot or are we Dancer? Let me know in the comments below. Guys, there's so many ways to spend your time this weekend, so let me make it real simple for you with the Weekend Watch List. Looking to curl up with a good book? Easy peasy, some other rhyming bullshit. Grab Image Comics Night World #1 by Adam McGovern and Paolo Leandri. Sad demons, haunted castles, sleepwalking lovers, a race against time. This book has all the trappings of a horror comedy cult hit in the making. And now if you're plopping down on the couch this week, skip your lackluster cable offerings and head on over to Hulu for the premiere of The Awesome Season 2. Seth Meyers in a veritable Justice League of comedic voiceover talent like Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph, and Will Forte are back as Proc leads the world's least likely heroes to combat villainy wherever it may lurk. Worst case scenario, they may not save the world, but you get your fill of superheroic schadenfreude, and that's a win-win in my book. Now lastly, if you're not seeing Guardians of the Galaxy for the 30th time this weekend, make it a point of interest to see Alison Berg and Francois Caradrin's documentary, The Dog, which offers a staggering, intimate look at John Wodowitz, the man who inspired Al Pacino's character in Dog Day Afternoon. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you might even have a weird boner, but most of all, you'll learn something. Isn't that why we're all here on the internet anyway? Well, that's it for this week's trip to the Dan Cave. See you next week, where I'll be talking about one of my most anticipated films of the year, the Eddie Murphy, Tyler Perry, Ben Stiller, and Dodgeball Fatsuit Spectacular, The Expendables. See you next time.